week. As efforts continue to improve rural internet access, broadband availability maps put out by the FCC are now being criticized for potential inaccuracies. Joining us now with an update is American Farm Bureau economic analyst Megan Nelson. Thanks so much for joining us, Megan. So what issues have been found with these maps and how they're created?
Yeah, one of the largest issues facing the accuracy of the broadband availability maps is the way in which internet providers are asked whether they can provide internet access or whether they do. So the difference between these terms mean entirely different things. And so it potentially and most likely overstates the amount of internet services being dispersed and particularly deployed in rural areas, because some of these internet providers may be stating that in these rural areas they could provide internet access, which they don't actually do it. The other issue facing the mapping is that census block data is analyzed in order for the FCC to get these maps, and while it's still the most granular level available, these census blocks can still be the size of Connecticut, and there are 1,200 or 3,200 census blocks that are about the size of DC area alone. And so for rural and remote areas, that could mean a lot and be a very big difference.
Megan, how big of a difference is there between, just like you're pointing out, between the FCC estimates and the measurements of availability by others?
It's actually pretty shocking. According to the FCC, broadband availability in rural areas and throughout all of America is at about 92%. However, research done by Pew Research Center as well as Microsoft's usage data are stating that these numbers are closer to 50 to 65%.
What implications does this have for farmers and ranchers who are trying and they're waiting for high-speed broadband in their homes and businesses? When you have discrepancies like this, it can't help with the fight that they're under right now.
Exactly. While more and more focus is being put on deploying and adopting broadband in rural and remote areas, the accuracy of these maps are of the highest importance, because there's no way that they'll be able to accurately identify where the digital divide is the greatest. So right now, grassroots efforts are very important to be able to let people know that this is a big issue and it needs to be taken very seriously.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. AFBF economic analyst Megan Nelson, thank you so much for joining us from